Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome to episode 5 of the Wilderness Podcast. Today's October 3rd. I'm your host, Dills, and with me is my co-host, Deegan.
Hey, what's up?
What you got going on over there?
A lot of schoolwork as of right now. That's pretty much it. I mean, Thanksgiving's this weekend, so that's, well, because we're Canadian, but it gives us a nice time to catch up on schoolwork and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Get a little ahead. How about you?
Nothing much. Not nothing really, I guess. I've just been working. I'm looking forward to this weekend. My boss dropped... We've been really busy. We do construction and we build houses and stuff. We got dropped a lot more on like my team. And he was basically, okay, be prepared to work every Saturday until New Year's.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's not happening. Fuck that.
Man, I remember working up north for that short little period, and I swear to God, one day we get in the car to go home at 11 o'clock at night. We had to do so much crap and then test all the lights and stuff on the island.
Oh, yeah.
And it was 11 o'clock at night, get up at like 5 to leave, get there at like 7, leave at 11, get home at 1.
So,
ridiculous.
Just give a little brief of what you were doing over there.
I was working on a island of like the owner of a construction company in Canada, and I was up north, working on his like little island. He does like a lot of charity events there, and so it was really nice. Such a nice property. Like, man, this dude had like a pizza oven that you could fit you could feed probably like 80 people if you filled it up and shit. It was crazy.
No,
got yoga studios all over the island. It was crazy. Super high end.
Yeah, that's pretty
cool. I was
cool.
just doing shitty like little labor work and stuff, helping out.
Yeah, that's neat. I don't do any of that stuff. I work in subdivisions, but yeah, so it's been pretty busy. I've been thinking about taking a vacation because we have 2 weeks of vacation. Well, I mean, I have 2 weeks left that I can use. And if I don't use it by the end of the year, they get kind of wasted. Like before, you used to be able to kind of bank money off of it. But now, yeah, if you either use them or you lose them. So I've been kind of thinking of a vacation, and I don't really know what I want to do. I started looking around about, leaving the country for a vacation, because I've only done that. Well, me and Deegan have only done that. Well, I mean, what we have when we were younger, we went to Dominican Republic and Florida. Besides that, I haven't gone. Where have you gone? Besides
I went to Cuba and I went to Antigua.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I want to do something, not like that. I don't really want to go to a resort where it's just kind of, I don't know, something. I was just looking at other places, kind of obscure places, I guess.
Yeah,
and so,
do some backpacking or something.
So, I don't know, just
some like around. Tourism. Yeah,
I want to look at some of the old like historic areas around the world because there's some pretty cool ones. And I've been listening to if you haven't listened to the podcast Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, you should check it out. It's really good. And I just finished listening to his series on it's called Wrath of the Khans, and it's about Genghis Khan and like the Mongols and all that.
Yeah, that's actually the only one I've listened to.
Oh, man.
It's really good.
So interesting. I really enjoyed it. So I just finished listening to that. So I looked in Mongolia just to see if they had anything. And they have, every year they have, it's a 3-day festival where it's just apparent. I don't know what it's like, but apparently there's like, they do big events, and there's a big like archery event, but they use like old school longbows. And, there's 3 events. It was that and then they have wrestling and horse racing. So that seemed kind of cool. I don't know what it would be like, It's probably a lot different than what I'm picturing.
Maybe you can learn like Mongolian throat singing.
Yeah, it's like honestly, I'm sitting like picturing in my head like these giant tents set up and this like throat singing, like real medieval stuff. Just because I've just finished listening to the podcast, that's what I'm picturing. It's so ignorant.
You could piss off Vicky so hard if you learned it.
So yeah, Vicky's my girlfriend, but yeah, I should practice that because that'd be an awesome skill to be good at, just for no reason.
You gotta teach Tammy, like teach your dog some tricks or something to do every time you throat sing in front of her.
Choreograph some type of dance. Oh, that'd be hilarious. But anyways, so that's just work related. This, I don't really know what you categorize this, but I just kind of want to bring it up because I read so much about it on the internet. And I hear so much about it, just whatever, YouTube videos and stuff like that, about this whole social justice warrior movement. And like, I'd never see the people that you'd see on the internet and stuff like that. Like, I'd never see it on Facebook or any of that, but my girlfriend had left her Facebook logged in on my phone for whatever reason, and I didn't realize, so I was just on it, and I scrolled down, and I saw someone was someone had posted an article, and it was basically saying, you know the candy skulls, what is it, like, it's kind of like a Mexican tradition, not tradition, but culture. You see it a lot in, like, I don't know, it's Cinco de Mayo? What's the one that's the Festival of the Dead?
I think it is Cinco de Mayo.
No, I have no idea. But anyways, do you know what I'm talking about? Those candy skulls? You see a lot of tattoos and stuff of them. It's kind
don't really. The candy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're colorful skulls.
Okay,
they're kind of cartoony. They're cool looking. A lot of cool designs. Anyways, yeah, I'd seen an article and it was saying how if white people wear them, it is racist and it's culture appropriation, which I don't really even know what that is. Apparently, it's just doing a culture that's not your own. I don't know.
Yeah, no, like celebrating culture that you're not directly related to or linked. It's
especially
not
when,
good. Just kind of like stick to your own culture, you shit scum.
Which
like,
is really hard to do, especially when like we're in Canada, which culture is so shared here.
Yeah, Canada's like the mosaic. Just everyone practices whatever they want. No one cares, really.
So, I decided to comment on it. Just something really sarcastic, I guess passive-aggressive. And I was like, oh, is this what we're worrying about today? And, like, I had, like, 4 people just blow it up. Like, I look at it 4 hours later. Actually, I think I got home, my girlfriend was like, what the fuck did you do? You look on, there's 4 people, like, you don't even understand what you're doing when you're doing that and how racist you are. And I was just thinking, like, do you not see the irony in this argument? Like, I'm not allowed to wear something because it makes me a race? Yeah.
Because you're white? Yeah. No, it's actually,
So,
it's kind of racist.
Yeah, and then in the article it kind of touches on it, but at no point does it say how this candy skull was used as an image, like, to fuel hatred. You know what I mean? It wasn't used to cause hate into another, people. So I decided just for shits and giggles just to kind of stir up some troubles. And then I can't remember, I replied something back being like, oh, you don't know how ironic that is. And the next thing you know, the next day, there's a huge war going on. There's like 5 people on each side and they're going at it. It's, it was kind of interesting. I felt like I caused Facebook World War III.
Man, I live in like a college town, so certain things can get like really, like you kind of see that a lot.
Do you
like,
see that at your school?
Like
I've seen videos on it, but does that actually happen?
Well, I mean, it's different because I'm at a college, right? And like I have seen like they're not worded safe space, but it's pretty much a safe space. You'll see like flyers that are posted up where. I don't know if you can just talk about things that happen.
Let me just say, if you had seen it about 5 years ago, would it have seemed bizarre then? Because it seemed like this whole movement is kind of recent. Like, I don't remember any of this happening years ago. I don't recall, unless maybe it just feels like feels new. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even really know, like, I think a big thing actually boils down to, like, our generation, because, shit, like, how many parents tell their kids, like, oh, you're so special, like, you know, you deserve everything, and then, like, they get to college or something, and they realize that no one gives a shit, like, professors don't care, they're like, you know, they don't have those high school teachers that are gonna, oh, you know, you're such a smart kid, even though, you know, you're getting a 40 in this class, I'm gonna let you pass, because I know you're so smart, like, good job. But, like, you get to college, no one cares, like, you know what I mean? You're actually just part of a crowd. And then, yeah, no, they want to, like, stand out and be special. They want to be like Arnita Sarkeesian or whatever her name is, like 2.0. So they just start, like, bringing this shit that, oh, God, it's stupid. It's really stupid. And, like, I don't know. In a couple years, it better go away. Because it's honestly, like, the fucking dumbest thing. Like, it's fucking weird. But, yeah, anyways.
Let's move on. Video games. You play any games other than RuneScape?
I've played, well, the only game I'm playing right now besides RuneScape is Battlerite. It's,
yeah, what is that game?
So there's a game called Bloodline Champions. That's kind of like what its grandfather was. That game ended up dying out just because it was like a college project or something. But anyways, so they didn't have enough funding to pretty much keep it going. Like, that game died out hard. Like, I tried to play it and you just couldn't get a game. And, so now the new game, like, whatever, the new version of it is called, Battlerite. And, like, I really, really don't want to explain it like this because it immediately turns off so many people, but it's like, think of it as like League of Legends mixed with like WoW Arenas, kind of. So, like, or like a MOBA mixed with like WoW Arenas in terms of like the gameplay is either, like, as of right now, it's like 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3. But there's no minions. Like, you start off and, like, it's pretty much like in a WoW arena or something, like, where, like, dueling in RuneScape, you just go in and you start fighting. And, like, there's, you know, an orb in the middle you can get, like, you know, health from and stuff. And it's a really fun game. Like, it's in early, like, access right now, and you have to pay to actually play. But if you wait till it, like, becomes free, like, maybe a year, I actually have no idea when the game's going to be officially released, it'll be free to play. So, like, if you're really unsure about trying it out, I mean, if you play for less than 2 hours on Steam, you can just get a refund. But it's actually, like, a really fun game. Like, it's the game, the rounds are, it's like every round or every, like, game you get into is best of 5. So first to 3 wins. And each round is, like, after 2 minutes, like, the arena starts to close into the center. So, like the most a round will go is 3 minutes, but usually, you know, it's a lot quicker than that. And it's, like, super fun. Like, all the characters are, like, pretty easy to understand how they work. Like, almost every character is easy to learn, but hard to master kind of concept. And, like, the game is, like, 100% skill-oriented, and, like, there is, like, versatility, you know. After every round, you get, like, 3, like, they're called battle rights, which are pretty much like talents. You can get, like, buffs for certain moves, and certain moves, like, you know, this shield will now heal you, or, you know, this slow is now a stun. Like, those are just random examples, but yeah, like, so, you know, there's, like, a lot of versatility in it. It's actually, like, a super fun game, but I only played for, like, an hour or 2 this past week because, you know, I've just been super swamped with schoolwork.
Mm-hmm, sure. Yeah, you told me to buy it. I'm probably not going to just because I don't want to spend $20.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a fun game. I don't know. I mean, worst comes to worst, ask for a refund.
Yeah, I just don't want to have to do that. Just.
Yeah. I mean, process is, like, automated, but yeah, if you don't want to, you don't have to.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the week goes on. Let's see. Mm-hmm. For me, is that all the games you've been playing?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, great. Okay, cool. I haven't played too much. I tried out RuneScape Chronicles.
Oh yeah, shit. I played that a little bit too.
Yeah, okay, so
sorry.
It's a card game. If you've ever played Hearthstone, it's similar to that, but at the same time, the gameplay itself is very different. Or the way the card game is played is a lot different. Which I like it.
The fact it's like a collecting card game, that's kind of what makes it like Hearthstone, but like the gameplay itself is very, very different.
Yeah, and it's really cool because, you know, there's a ton of card games out there, and a lot of them, you know, they have the same gameplay where it's like Hearthstone, it's, you know, you place your cards down, your turn, and then you attack or you do whatever your spells do. Then it's your opponent's turn, he attacks you. You go back and forth. But the way RuneScape Chronicles works It's how would you explain this? Basically, you get each turn you can place down 4. You're on a path, basically. You and your opponent are both on separate paths, and you can place down 4 things on your way. As in, when you get monsters, you don't battle with your monsters. You place your monsters for your champion to kill. And then you can gain bonuses and stuff like that. So you go through, and then there's 5 chapters, which is kind of like an overall turn. And at the end of it, your champions will kind of fight. You can kill them before, because you'll have like items that say like, you know, your enemy's next monster will gain an extra health. So maybe your opponent wasn't preparing that, and next thing you know he's dead. Because that's actually happened to me. It's a really cool concept, and it kind of reminds me of chess, I guess, in a sense, where you're planning like 4 steps ahead.
Yeah.
But I guess you're kind of doing that in Hearthstone too. But it's really cool. What do you think about it?
Yeah, no, it's really fun. I like the concept of it. It's a little weird because there is a ranked mode, and like I'm gonna guess the next 2 or 3 years they're gonna have tournaments and stuff for it. And maybe it's because I haven't played it that much, but I find that the game's very heavily RNG based compared to like Hearthstone's heavy. Like there's a lot of RNG in Hearthstone, but if you're good, like you'll be able to hit that rank 1 or whatever, get whatever points or arena wins you need. But I find with this, because a lot of it's like, all right, I need to get the cards, and then like it's like a lot of metagaming, I should say. So you're like, okay, you know, I'm the tank, or like I'm the vampire guy, and this person knows that I'm killing like these strong monsters that do a lot of damage to me and almost kill me, and then I'm healing back up and I'm getting like bonuses and stuff, so I'm gonna be really strong. And then you're like, oh shit, are they gonna like try and, you know, make the guy aggressive so the monster hits me first? Is he gonna try and, you know, up his attack? Like, is he gonna use a card that just attacks me at this point if he thinks, you know? So you get like, as of right now, it's like a ridiculous amount of like, all right, this is my game plan, but during like chapter 3, this guy can just play this one card and I'm dead. Yeah. There's not much I can do. Maybe it's because I'm new and like I actually haven't played that much, and I just feel like it's definitely like a lot of fun, and it's definitely fun trying to like figure out like, okay, what is this like guy doing? And it's really fun if you can like, you know, buy a really good weapon, because you can like get weapons that have durability and gives you bonus attack, and then, you know, all right, I get like a Saragon sword, so now I get 7+ attack, and I'm gonna try and attack him after this, and let's hope he doesn't get any, like, you know, a weapon that's just as good and actually kills me, or, you know, whatever. It's definitely fun. It's a little awkward though, just because I'm just thinking of it too much as like a card game. I don't know.
The best way I feel to explain it would be like, it doesn't feel like it would be super competitive compared to maybe a game like Hearthstone. It feels more casual and relaxed, I guess. But it definitely is, and I can see how it would be competitive, and how there's going to be, you know, how you could actually be really good at the game, skilled-wise. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's it for computer games, but I bought so my girlfriend is really big into cooking shows and stuff like that. She really likes Hell's Kitchen. Holy shit. And, I noticed on PlayStation 4 they had a game that was it was a cooking game, but it was kind of like a hectic cooking game, I guess. It's called Overcooked. And it's actually a lot of fun. If you're into those type of things, maybe check it out, because I was surprised by how much fun it was. I didn't think I would like it. I bought it for her to surprise her. And we played a co-op match we played for maybe in like 2 hours almost. Like I couldn't get off. I kept saying like, let's just do one more level, because it's really cool the way it's done. But yeah, that's all for just games and stuff. How are you doing on RuneScape? Anything fun happen?
Not really. Like I haven't, like I barely played. I did like the tiniest amount of PKing, just because it kind of wraps it like on my pure. It kind of wrapped into like what happened to me this week during Iron Man challenge.
Okay, so I guess if you want, briefly talk about your non-Iron Man part of it, if you want.
I should probably save it.
Okay, sounds
good. It'll tie in way better later on. But yeah,
no problem. For me, I finally got 94 magic. I think I got that on Friday. Yeah, so that was pretty sweet. I was pretty hyped because, man, I spent so much money on it. I sold so many items. And what I did afterwards definitely didn't help. But anyways, I decided to go. I want to get my full-on PK, setup. So I needed a fire cape too, and I just didn't want to get the fire cape because I said before, like, I still have PTSD from back in 2007 when I tried like 8 times and probably spent 15 mil back when you were using Carol's bolt racks and stuff like that. Like I died like 8 times, and I didn't spend 15 mil, but I spent like a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, it felt like 15 mil.
Yeah. For me, like that's, yeah, exactly. So I didn't really want to try it, but I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to bang it out tonight. I never got it back in 2007, by the way, so it's not like this time it's going to be easy. I'm picking up right where I left off back then. And let's see, I went the first time, and I was using the Rune Crossbow. And it was alright. And I was using Guthans, too, to heal. Yeah. I ended up dying on Jad. I don't really know why I died, because I didn't mess up on the prayer, I don't think. I was almost certain. A lot of it is just...
Man, the timing of it is so awkward when it's your first time, like, fighting him. Like, switching back and forth. Like, sorry, keep going. I'll just say this real quick. Like, what I do when I'm switching prayers, and, like, it made it so much easier when I was, like, first doing Jad, and if you're, like, ever attempting it, what I do is, as he spawns, I, like, alright, I'm gonna pick range, and I'm gonna go and attack him, and I'm gonna switch to mage when he does magic, and as soon as, like, okay, he's done it, and I'm gonna be able to block it, then I immediately go back to range, and it's like, I just kind of switch off of one, and I go back to it after the attack. I just find, like, that helps me, like, a lot easier when it comes to having to manage with the prey, like, changing, because it's so hard in the beginning.
I found Jad himself isn't too hard. I feel like you're your own worst enemy in that fight. So I ended up dying. And that one I kind of kept my cool, because I was like, you know what, man, whatever. I'm older now. Fire cape means nothing to me. So I ended up dying before I even get him to half health or anything. I was like, all right, no big deal. I'll do it again. So I decided to try the blowpipe, because I know you can heal with that with the special. So yep. I took out all my Guthans and I decided to just do range. And so I jump in and try it, and I liked it a lot more. I felt like I was blasting through all the previous waves. And I was like, well, fuck it. This is it. I'm going to get it this time. Anyways, I get all the way to Jad. And so the way the Jad fight works, he does an attack between range and mage. And depending on the animation he does, so for mage, he kind of stands up on 2 legs for 2 seconds, and then he drops down. Range, he slams down with 1 foot. So you gotta watch that and switch between them. It's not really that hard. It's pretty easy, but it gets hard when like, for me at least, I developed Parkinson's out of nowhere once I got him half health. And I couldn't fucking, like, I was shaking so hard, and I would randomly click by accident. I would randomly miss, I could go to click, change it to mage, and I'd miss it, and it would be the one below it, or it'd be range or something. Yeah. Or I'd have the right one on, and then I'd actually click it again just because I was hovering and my finger was shaking. So I would just click it. Anyways, I ended up dying. I was so fucking mad. And 4th time's a charm. Got it after that. And I was
decent.
I was pretty hyped.
Yeah. Man, it feels so good getting your first fire cape.
Yeah, not as good as I thought it would. It was just kind of like...
Really?
It was like, okay, I feel satisfied. But I didn't like, oh, fuck yeah, and like jump up or anything. I was kind of like... I guess I was like, about damn time. About fucking time.
Yeah, for me, it took me 5 tries, I think. And then I was like, I had a couple friends that were playing at the time, and this person I met, like, on RuneScape. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? I'm getting my fire cape today. And, I sat down, like, each attempt was like an hour, I think. On my 5th attempt, I got it. And everyone was like, all my buddies and shit were like, oh, shit. Because I was the first one of all my friends to get the fire cape. Go meet up with them, put on my fire cape and shit. it was super awesome.
Yeah, and it's also nice when you get like an item and you just like, all right, that's the best in slot for that, style of fighting.
Yeah.
That's going to be there for until the new fight games come out. But yeah, generally it's going to be sitting there for a while. That's how I feel about the Barrows gloves, at least. When I got that from Recipe for Disaster, I'm just like, oh, well, that's it. I don't really need to focus on anything else for melee gloves for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. What was your setup when you're on your like final attempt?
So the one that where it worked, I had a Verox helmet, Carol's top, Carol's bottom. Bando, they have the God, what is it? The God D'hide. They have boots now, so
Yep.
I had that. Barrows gloves. I used Addy darts with the toxic blowpipe. Fury archering. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
For me, when I did it, I was blowpipe, Fury, full like Zamorak D'hide. They didn't have the boots at the time.
Those
So
are
I
good.
think
I'd
I
pick
used-
them up if you don't have them because they're a lot. I think they're actually still fairly expensive, but for they're worth it comparing to Robin boots.
Yeah.
Robin boots are what?
Yeah,
More than
I
10 mil. I haven't checked recently, but they're more than 10 mil.
yeah. I used either holy sandals or snakeskin boots. I forget, and then obviously like Abbas and shit, and archer and butte ring.
So yeah, well
And-
get the God boots now because they also give you prayer. I think it's like one or two.
I probably should, especially for like brutal black dragons and stuff.
Oh yeah, they're awesome because I'm not dropping that much money on Robin boots anytime soon. Especially,
Yeah.
so let me continue because that's not going to happen anytime soon, and you're going to see why. So finally got the fire cape. I've decided I'm going to go do barbarian assault, and you know what? I actually had a lot of fun doing that. When you get a good solid group, and I actually got a group where we were kind of just talking and kind of shooting the shit a little bit. It made a lot of fun, and we blasted through like the levels, and I got so many points. I was like, holy shit, I could just start leveling these up now, or maybe get the penance hat, I think it's called, or the helmet that acts as the warrior helmet.
Yeah, the fighter helmet or whatever.
Yeah. Anyways,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
finally got the torso, and then I had got them for the fire cave. Sold a bunch of other things. I was like, I don't need it anymore. I had like 10 mil cash, and I decided I'm going to invest this all into PKing now because I'm like, oh, this is it. This is what I wanted to do for so long. So I buy a bunch of rune plate legs, stuff like that. I buy the tentacle, which Abyssal Whip plus the Kraken tentacle.
Yep.
Combine those, get a whole setup, buy a bunch of DDSs, and so I go out and I just start just PKing in Edgeville, and I was actually doing surprisingly well. I was kind of holding my own. A lot of void PKers I found at first. For the first 10 guys were probably all voiders with the ballista, which I don't really mind it, but I can see where it's just it gets old quickly.
Yeah,
the ballista's
it really
slow,
does.
but it's able to hit really fucking high. And
Man, yeah.
they just sit there and shoot you with it. A lot of them I faced, they never switched to a Gmaul, which I thought they were because they had 9/9 strength as well. Thought they'd use that to spec and finish me off, but no, just the ballista, and they kept shooting. They hit like a 60, 58. I guess they were just relying on having a lucky concession of high hits, but
Yeah. The one thing, I'm going to say this quickly,
Yeah.
one thing annoying about fighting Void Ballista people is that every single time they shoot you, you can just die. Like, if you have 99 health, they can hit you for a 60 and then Gmaul spec you, just like 100 to 0 pretty much, and it's super obnoxious.
yeah, but at the same time, if you see it coming, obviously if you're kind of not paying attention. So anyways, I start, going back and forth. I actually start killing some people. I'm like, man, this is sweet. I'm kind of going even. Actually, no, I'm not going even, but I'm dying a lot more than I'm winning, but let's say whatever.
You're shredding, though.
Yeah, I'm getting kills, and I'm starting to get better. It takes some time to get the timing down, and then it was a lot of fun, but I want to bring up this part was very memorable for two reasons. So I fight this, it's just a tank, so 99 defense, 99 range. Really nothing else. I got the prayer, but no magic. So I had vengeance on my side. I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. And the person had a Torag helmet, Torag legs, Carol's crossbow, dark bow, and black D'hide, and then just kind of cheap stuff filler.
Yep.
So we're going back and forth, and I fucking venged, and then DDS spec, and I hit him for like just 3 really high hits because he must have hit me high, and he dies. And I'm like, dude, this is awesome. This is gonna make up for every time I died already. Because I got Torag's helmet, Torag's legs, Carol's crossbow. I didn't get the dark bow. I don't think, unless I'm getting mixed up. But anyways, so I picked those up, and I'm like, dude, this is sweet. I'm picking up more items, and then out of nowhere, I get hit 1 hit for a 67.
No.
I was standing there, and I had melee prayed, but my health was at a 67, and I just was like, I guess I didn't look at it, but I was like, yeah, whatever, it's nothing. And then a guy shot me with a ballista. 1 hit killed me, and then he got all the items I dropped, plus the items I had picked up. So he got double the loot plus the Torex items. That's a good drop. Like,
Yeah.
I was
Oh my
so
God.
upset because I was you know what? I probably got hit because I was like trying to take a picture or a screenshot or some shit. I was like, dude, this is awesome. I got hit after, but you know, since then I start praying range now every time.
Yeah, it's definitely safer.
Yeah, so that was the big one that I was like, I got so happy when I did some fist pumps once I killed him, and then I died. So then I cried a bit.
That's the life of high level PKing, though.
Yeah, I blew through all my PKing gear, and now I'm looking at my bank being like, fuck, man, I'm broke. I need to, what am I going to do for money? I can't PK because I just don't have any money unless I sell everything.
Yeah.
Which, no, let's not do that. This isn't the dueling arena. We're not clearing my bank to do this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my RuneScape week for the most part. So let's go over to the news. There's a very moderate week, I suppose. So we got the Duel Arena interface, kind of got some improvements. It looks a lot better, and it's much needed because I always thought it was a little clunky. It's hard to see, really easy to get scammed. And like I said in past episode, I got scammed a few times, and I know friends as well who got scammed for a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So have you seen the new Dueling Arena interface?
I have not. I really try to stay away from the dueling arena.
Yeah, it's just a lot more visual. It's not, you're not reading text as much as there'll be pictures of things. Anyways, it's a lot better. But with that came a little glitch that was a little compromising, I suppose. Did you hear anything about this Iron Man glitch?
I heard of it, but I don't know exactly what it was.
So I heard a bit about it too. I tried to look into it, but I guess I didn't really get anywhere. So the way I think it works is you're just kind of able to stake items with Iron Men. So mains were able to stake themselves, AGS or Bandos from their main account, and then Iron Man would have it.
Jesus.
Luckily, well, I don't know, luckily, but Jagex had said that they went back, and a lot of people they found that were literally abusing that glitch. Which I'm assuming anyone who's doing that would be abusing the glitch, because who's putting up items to stake as an Iron Man that's not trying to abuse anything, right?
Yeah, exactly, right?
They went back and they said they took some action on it. I don't know if they banned them or if they just took away their Iron Man.
Yeah, they probably revoked Iron Man status. That's what I could see them doing.
Sounds about right. That sucks.
Yeah,
but at the same time, what's the point of having the Iron Man status if you're going to try to abuse a glitch?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. But yeah, Jagex quickly fixed that, and yeah. They also, they gave us some new construction updates. They're really giving construction some love. It's just little small things, but they're cool. They added a new dummy, which it'll show your highest hit whenever you hit them with what you have equipped. So that's awesome. I'm glad that's in there, because that's for PK. That's really good to know. And they also added some teleports. So the teleports are awesome. The ones they added are Lunar Isle. It's called the Sentiston. It's an ancient magic's teleport, but it brings you to the dig site. And a Carl, which will bring you to demonic ruins in 47 wilderness, which that's cool. That's really neat that you can have a portal that'll bring you to the wilderness.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Water Birth Island. Is that the Dagannoth Island? I don't know. I'm drawing a mind blank. The Fishing Guild, Apatol, and Koren, which is Zaya. So the Apatol one would be cool. I wonder where it drops you. I wonder if it's going to be right into the tunnels, because that's where the teleport from the Archaea spellbook does. But let me just put a quick disclaimer. I wanted to say this earlier. My girlfriend's not here to tame the dog, so if you hear pitter-pattering or any noise, that's her, because I can't lock them into the bedroom like I normally do when I'm doing the podcrafting, as we do. So yeah, that's the construction update. Your thoughts? Anything?
I like it. I mean, I don't know. Construction is becoming more and more OP, but I don't know exactly how.
I wouldn't say it's OP. I think it's finally well needed, because for a long time, construction is just it's a really cool skill. I really liked it. I remember when they introduced it. It's super unique, but at the same time, the uses within there are a few uses, but I kind of expected more, and I'm glad they're putting all these ones in, because now.
Yeah, I should say it's not just a money sink now. There's actually a reason to get construction out.
Yeah, exactly. And It is still a huge money sink, but at the same time, like you have reasons to get the high levels, and you're going to be blowing millions upon millions trying to get there. So yeah, have fun with that. What's your construction level?
It's 50 just for like the home teleports or the teleports and whatnot.
Yeah, me too. I only got it just for the Canifis teleport because I stopped doing this now that you can buy tabs for barrows, but that was the way I did it before, and so I just put that there, and I like having it. It's nice that before I think that was one of the only ancient magic teleports you could have in there. Now they have some more. That's great. What's your go-to teleport?
Yeah, I think I did Canvas too, just for convenience at the time. But I don't know, man. I don't even really use my construction or my house that much.
I don't either. I find if I'm going to use it as much as I want to use it, I'm going to need the fountain that restores everything, because half the time I'm just teleporting to Clan Wars because I want to restore everything, and then I just teleport from there. So
yeah, exactly.
And also, they added now you can make Zamorak grapes from it's unlocked at Teeth Farming. So Teeth Farming's on Zay. You need 100% favor in Hosidius. Yeah, yep. Hosidius. And yeah, you get through the Teeth minigame, and it actually just unlocks like another item you use with the grapes you can grow originally, and it turns it into the Zamorak grapes. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really worth it for the wines. It's not more efficient unless, as of right now, you already have a bunch of points and grape seeds.
Yeah, exactly.
Because each I forget what the item is, but you get like an item and you use it on like the vine, and then you pick it and you get one Zamorak grape. And so like it's a lot of points you need to be able to make one.
And there's going to be some people profiting off this, because at least for me, I tend to forget that there's people who enjoy parts of this game that for more reasons than just it's good experience or good money.
Yeah.
Like there's people who are, probably not a large bunch, but there's probably a group out there, a CC you can find that's dedicated to teeth farming, and it's just people who are good at it. They can, give you tips and whatnot. So cool. Little thing they also added is once you have 200 million experience, you have a better chance at a pet. Yeah, sure. I honestly, at that point, I think you should just give them the pet.
Yeah. Honestly, it'd be kind of neat if you had 200 mil, say thieving, and you get the thieving pet, like the raccoon or whatever, and then you could, bring it somewhere to, maybe, the guy that gives you the skill cape, and you get, special pet, that, like a golden pet. That's just a random example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like an actual reason to be like, hey, look, I have max thieving. Check out this sweet pet that, no one really has.
That would be cool. It'd be, because the one time you see somebody walk by with it, you'd be like, holy shit, man, it'd be your classic Zezma moment.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, it would be cool, and I could see it being a little side project, because it'd really benefit just a few people. Even though the spectators, people who just see it, you'd have people gasping.
Yeah. I mean, the people that would complain about it are the completionists, the guys that want to have everything in the game. Oh, come on, now I need to get 200. But, I
don't think anyone could complain about that specifically, but more on the lines of, why put work into something that's only going to benefit, 0.5 of the percentage of people who play it?
I mean, it would honestly be, an hour's worth of work. Just make it, use the pet on the guy, he says something, you pay money, and now the pet has a different color. Or something.
Just have him say 200 mil every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, they could.
But that's basically it for little updates we got. But we also had a little event going on. It was the Deadman Mode tournament, which was hosted at TwitchCon. Deegan, you watch that?
Yeah, I watched most of it. I missed the very beginning of that final hour, but I did catch most of it.
What'd you think of it? I watched the whole thing as well.
I liked it a lot. Watching, was it Rot just clear out that group of people in half a second?
It might have been. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I didn't honestly enjoy it that much. It wasn't that exciting.
I like seeing the clan fights and stuff. I like watching how they coordinate and exactly what goes on, and then even watch the bigger streamers and stuff, the big names that are on their own, and they have, there's usually just a group of random people that team up.
Yeah.
They just kind of get everyone. And, it's really neat seeing, all that go down. I don't know. I like it a lot.
So, there's one thing that they definitely need to work on. This is one of my biggest gripes. It's, the spectating option that the commentators have is so shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's awful to see anything. They had to click go to a random dead man. And when there's 2,000 dead man, like, the chance of you going somewhere that something's happening is very poor. That's what bothered me, because you were seeing the numbers go down. You see the Twitch chat spamming, oh, go here. And they were trying to get there, but it's just so hard to navigate. On top of that, it's a menu with texts. Like,
yeah, exactly. It looks very, like, it's no aesthetics, I should say. Like, it just looks awful.
And like,
it's clunky.
I don't know if it's possible. I know there's always, engine work, but like, this Deadman Mode tournament is probably one of the biggest ways you're going to bring in people, new players especially.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like, many people who don't like the Deadman Mode itself, I don't really play it, but I love it. Like, the tournament's awesome. I wish they would do more events like this. I would love for them to have fucking, like, actual clan wars or clan I don't know. It'd be kind of cool just to see more things. You don't have to take it as an esport, but it's fun to watch, and the community all kind of gets together, and woo, it's something kind of exciting about that. But you need to have a better spectating thing, and I don't know if they can do it in the engine, but they should have it where if at any point damage is being exchanged between two people, there should be a menu for that, or something would be like, hey, alert, there's a fight going on, because there's a lot of times they were looking around and they were looking at, like, traveling through the city looking for areas that people would be, and there'd just be no one. You go, a couple seconds.
And I think the worst thing is you would see the numbers dwindle.
Yeah, and like
people were dying, and you're like,
And it's not like the people commentating were just like, let's look at the Varrock found it. They're trying to find the action, and it's just so hard to navigate. The best way they found of doing it was clicking go to a random dead man, which would pan to a random player. And a lot of times it was a stack of a clan. But anyways, that's my little, I just want to get that off my chest, I guess, because it has a lot of potential, and it sucks to see that kind of get wasted just because it's,
Yeah, I think they know that I think they know it's pretty bad. Like, I think Jagex knows how shitty their spectator mode is. And they're definitely, like, I think every dead man, you're going to see little improvements. Like, I would actually like it to see, like, even though people might see it as favoritism, but even have, like, a list of, like, priority names, like streamers, and then, like, people like the whoever like runs Rot, whatever his name is, Bullerick, or I don't know who it is, but and even happens they can click these guys and like go to see like, okay, let's go to this clan, let's go to this clan, let's go to these streamers, or even have it so like the map, they can teleport using the map or something, or have it so they can see where clumps of players are on the map. Like, I don't know. They gotta have something.
No, I agree. Maybe having the clan leaders maybe have a way to spectate. And another thing too is big controversy over the win, over the big W and who secures it. And the way it played out, honestly, I'm a little disappointed in many areas. So
yeah, more reasons than one.
Yeah, we won't try to ramble too much on this, but we'll both get our input. So basically, Woox was the last person alive during the Deadman Mode tournament, but he was disqualified because he was not in the final arena. He did not partake in any PvP really, and he kind of found a way to get around the fog system by unnoding items through files and then able to eat through the fog. The thing is, they've been trying to prevent that by removing you able to do that from the bank. So you could do that from the bank before, but they must have missed files. So they disqualified him and gave a player named lol, repeated as many, whatever.
Lol.
Yeah, exactly. And he won, and he was partaking in fighting, and he was at the end, and they gave him the money afterwards. So, everyone's asking, who do you think should have won? So, Diggin, who do you think should have won?
I've thought about it actually because I knew this was going to come up. I would say, I hate to say this, but I honestly think Woox should win.
Why do you say that?
And I have a lot of reasons. So, and this point's been brought up a lot, like on like in the community forums and stuff. Like, all right, first winner, he won by tick eating, by like abusing a mechanic in the game to like not die from the fog, and so I understand. They have to let that go because that was a big oversight, so they're going to let him win. Even though, like, I would have been more okay with him losing because, like, he's actually abusing, like, a in-game mechanic, which they actually try to fix multiple times through different patches. But and they even changed the fog so you can't do that and all that stuff. But he won through tick eating and by sitting at the bank and eating, just like pulling out cakes or some shit.
Yeah.
And that's how he won. And then the second guy, this guy on codeine, he won by hiding at the southern area in Barbarian Village, and by picking up like prayer potions of Ceratum Brews and spamming Redemption and like just like hiding and healing the whole time. And so he 100% confirms that on stream. Like I remember like the post or as Deadman mode was like the next one was coming up. I was like on his stream that night, like listening, and like everyone was asking him questions, and I was asking him some questions too. And yeah, he straight up admitted he just kind of hid and he just ate and just looted food. And that's smart though, but he won by avoiding PvP and by eating. And the second guy wins by like hiding, looting food, and you know, all that stuff. And that's how he wins. So there's two winners that like win by avoiding and eating.
And you believe since he did the same thing as the two people who won previously, he should also win, right?
Well, see, what he did was actually like, I think that's more. I'm gonna say that I'm the most okay with. I'm fine with all of them. I'm actually least okay about the tick eating, but with the second guy on codeine, he was like in the PvP zone. Anyone could have just like ran up to him, specced him out, and killed him, right? But he was like just able to avoid the fight, and like no one just everyone's kind of focused on the whole macro aspect of like the clans fighting and trying to stay away from everyone. So like I'm okay with that. At least he's in the zone. And then the thing with Wooks is that he hid in Remington. And I think a big thing is that it looked like he did it as a big fuck you to Jagex. He's wearing like a pink robes, apron, like he's in just troll shitty gear, iron helmet, like Dragon Scimitar, and he's hiding in Remington. Yeah, trading files or whatever, getting his lobsters and carambras, or how the fuck you say it, carambrams. I don't even know how to I just say it like that as a joke. I've never actually learned how to say it. But he was using lobsters and the carambramies, and he had a couple sharks for backup, but I guess he spent the whole invitational fishing, because he sent a screenshot, and he has like 1,000 lobsters, like 1,000 of the carambrams, you know what I mean? Or carambras or whatever.
Carambramies, that's the new name.
Yeah, carambramies. And like what's like so different between the only thing that's different is that he was the furthest one away from the PvP. Like the first winner was at the Falador Bank when the fight was at the Falador statue. So like he was kind of far away, but not too far. The other guy was actually in the fighting area. He was so like, you know, like the exact opposite side of the map pretty much. And so like, yeah, he avoids PvP. He's unknowing food and eating it, but like that's all he's doing. He's just unknowing food and eating it. And of course the lol guy shouldn't have won. Sorry, let me rephrase that. If I was him, I would be like, that's fucking bullshit. There's no way I could have won. Because, like, he just, like, what's next? What's season 4? Is everyone going to find random, like, little places to do that? Is season 4 going to be, you know...
Okay, so let me cut it. You're throwing in a bunch of my arguments that I have, because I'm taking the opposite side of this.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of shitty, but it's kind of like, that's kind of just what happens, right? Like, they have to be more definitive, so I think Wook should win. Mainly because the other two guys have won.
Okay, so I'll take my stance on this, because I don't think he should have won. And I'm glad they disqualified him, and I was very disappointed when I saw Maud Ash was going to give him 10 grand out of his own pocket. Okay,
well, he didn't say 10 grand.
Well, he wanted to give him some money. Anyways,
yeah.
First off, I want to just say, I don't know Wokes. I haven't really watched too much of his content, but from what I'm aware, he's a pretty intelligent person. He's, you know... He's not like an idiot. Secondly, like he's been playing this game for a while, so he's clearly old enough to realize that they just put in some changes to prevent people from noting foods from the bank. So you can't tell me that when he's doing this, he's not thinking in the back of his head, I hope I get away with this. You know there's it's kind of like he's tiptoeing a line there. Second point, this was at a TwitchCon event. This wasn't a RuneFest or anything like that. This was a TwitchCon, so there's people there who aren't really interested in RuneScape from what I'm aware of. I'm not too familiar with the Twitch convention, but I watched a bit of it, and it was broadcast to a good 20,000 people. If this was supposed to be a dead man mode PvP tournament, what a joke would it be if the guy who won didn't fight? If the guy who won hid somewhere and just just ate. Literally didn't even try to fight. You know what I mean? This wasn't like, okay, this is the only way I could win now because I've lost all, whatever it is. I lost the clan I was with. He wasn't with a clan. He had a clan that was telling him ways to do this. So the two people won before. I'm sure there were oversights. And at first I was kind of like, oh, I slapped, palm my forehead. And I was like, that cheeky bastard. You know what I mean? I was surprised. I thought it was going to be like a brawl and someone would win. The first time you're like, The second time, a little more so. They fixed the tick eating, but he found another way around it. But the third time, I'm not like, man, he got it again. I'm kind of like, are you fucking serious again? Like, by disqualifying Wooks and not giving him money, you're basically saying from now on being like, we're not putting up with this shit. If you guys try to find ways around not having to fight each other, you're not going to win. They're putting their foot down. And next thing you know, you're not going to have, season 4 tournament's not going to happen. Some guys, found a way how to get into Castle Wars. Now he can't die in Castle Wars. You know what I mean? Like, suddenly no one's trying that because they know there's no chance of them winning. And, those are my arguments on it, I believe, because he definitely had to have known what he was doing is kind of shady. Okay, and now I want to put this out. If the roles were reversed where Wooks was the one PvPing and lol was the one eating at Files, would people still have made a huge upset and rioted about lol not winning? I honestly don't think so.
I think a lot of people, it definitely wouldn't be as big, but there would be a lot of people being like, come on, that's bullshit.
You wouldn't have a riot. You wouldn't have, the front page of Reddit filled up as, you'd have some posts probably, but after the day, people would forget, move on.
Hold on, let me just say this. Remember how the Iron Man bug with Dueling Arena?
Yes.
So they get a 3-day ban and they lose Iron Man status for all the guys that abused it.
Wow.
I just want to say that now. Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah, but anyways, I personally think like if roles were reversed, lol should have won. But
do you think @mod Ash would be texting, like messaging him saying, "Hey, I think we should work something out so you win as well"? I don't. I don't think the upset would be as big enough for Ash to be like, I need to do some damage control.
Yeah, no, I feel like the upset wouldn't be like this big.
It would be. I guarantee.
There would be
some.
Guarantee
it. I don't think there'd be a riot. I think the most you'd see.
There would definitely
is Reddit posts.
There would definitely be there would definitely be a lot of upsets. Like if I were to like, that's just, I feel like a lot of people would be pretty upset to see like I don't know, because during a Q&A supposedly or allegedly Ash said that if like I think he was just being cheeky about it.
He thought he probably figured out every little loophole.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was definitely like, it was definitely like a kind of offhand comment, but he did say that like if you can out heal the fog, like be my guest and try. And I think a lot of it actually comes down to like I know like about Wooks. I'm like, it's not like I watch any of his videos or anything, but I do know that he's known for like mechanically like the best RuneScape player, which is kind of weird to say, but when it comes to like tick eating and just all that stuff, like he is amazing. Like he solos all these bosses with being able to like tick eat, like using potatoes on like the Bandos boss and stuff like that, and like even being able to like one tick and use like the teleport, the fairy ring before the changes and stuff, and like he's known to be really really good mechanically.
I don't
and, like,
know who he is.
He's also,
but I never really follow his stuff. But the way what someone said to me, which kind of I don't know, showed me how much to respect him or how much respect he deserves, is that he was the first person to ever solo Corp in RuneScape, and he was 12 years old when he did that.
Yeah, he beat Jad with one prayer, like on RuneScape 3, with one prayer and like, no armor. I want to say no food, or maybe he just had food and no prayer. I think that's how it worked. Actually,
I don't know.
I think he had no prayer, and he just had like potatoes. Like he's really 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 good like mechanically. And he's also, like, really smart, too. Like, he's cracked a couple clues for, like, the clue hunt thing.
Exactly.
He's actually, like, a really smart guy.
So he knew what he was doing was kind of, like, this is kind of a fine line that I'm crossing.
But, like, if you think about it, like, if he's gonna win, just based on like those facts, that is how he's going to win. He's going to outsmart the rules because at the time it's not like set in stone that like you have to participate in PvP. Like it was really like up in the air, kind of like the rules aren't like they're going to be a lot more solid this time around, but like I didn't state that you weren't allowed to do that, and like he found out a way. Like, oh, like it's kind of like Jagex's fault for not even like they should have just said you have to be within X amount of blocks or squares to the place to like the final zone.
Yeah,
like they didn't specify anything, and so he kind of found a loophole. And like if I were to like be in his shoes and I'm him and I'm doing that, I probably will, like, maybe because I'm just like not as good as him, but I think a lot of people still would have found a way to die. Like he had a system where I'm gonna eat this many, I'm gonna unnote this, I'm gonna eat this many, I'm gonna unnote that. Like
if
he,
you
like,
watch
a really
the
good
video,
system.
he doesn't ever really come close to dying. Like he's able to heal well more than what he's getting hurt for. Now, would you be okay then if there were 3 people there doing the same thing, and instead of watching a fight, you're watching 3 people see who runs out of food first or misclicked? Would you be okay with that being like a final fight?
Well, I find if that was the actual case,
what would you do?
Let's say there's 2 people, more than likely one of them would be like, all right, this is a stalemate, and then they'd find a way to get attacks in or something. They would find out something, or Jagex right then and there would have teleported them all to an area or something. But like, I don't know. I find that I would have just been like, maybe in the moment, oh, that's cool, or maybe like, oh, that's stupid. I don't know. I think that's like, it's neat that like it happens. Obviously, if it's a common occurrence, you're like, this is the 3rd time in a row someone has been last alive. I'm not going to say won, but last alive by not fighting. And even the guys that were in the final area, once it gets in like the last 5, there was one dude trying to kill people, and like the rest of them all just sit in their little areas and eat. Like that's what it turns into. And like, of course, they have like, 1K lobsters and shit, and it's just gonna be really annoying to like, no one's gonna want to sit there for 30 minutes and watch them eat.
Exactly.
Something would happen. I don't think like Jagex would be like, all right, let's just let's go get a drink, let's go have a smoke, we'll come back. Like they're gonna be like, all right, like, can we teleport them? Can we stun them all, or can we like pause it, like stop the fog and make them fight? Like they would have found out a way to fix it.
But when it was going on, they didn't find a way to fix it. They basically just were like...
Well, they didn't know. That's the thing.
They saw... Like you could see it happening. They were going back and forth between the 2 players. Like, you could see it happening, and then Ash came in and just killed him. So they don't really have a method of doing it. But the way I think, by preventing that from ever happening again, is by fucking saying, you're not going to win this tournament, because obviously that's kind of, we don't really want that to happen in the game.
Yeah, well,
and if anyone,
what they have to
need
do...
to grow some balls and just say, you know what, fuck it. Obviously, we're not doing this because, it's not like we disqualified him so a streamer could win. You're disqualifying him because he's not participating. And this will prevent anyone from ever trying it again because, what's the fucking point?
Well, I do feel that Modash shouldn't have given him the money, because he's got to, like, stick with his company, right? He kind of was like, I don't agree with anyone, I'm going to agree with the community. Like, I don't really like how he did that, but... I don't know, I feel like if they do another Deadman mode, they have to, like, teleport everyone to an area. They have to be like, no, you have to be in this general area, the general, like, vicinity of the zone to be able to participate. Because, like, he wasn't doing any bugs, he wasn't stalling.
Yes, I agree they should have said...
That's the only thing.
I agree they should have said something, but at the same time, like, they didn't, and... I don't think they should be like, okay, well, maybe for the 4th tournament we'll say, guys, please don't. No, right then and there, you put your foot down so that nobody argues the next time this happens. Well, this guy should have won. You guys didn't specify. You know what I mean? This way you're just like, listen, this obviously not what this tournament's about. Why don't you sign up for the tick eating competition next week? That's, you know what I mean? Cause whatever.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't really tick eating, but...
Yeah, that was an example. You know what I mean? That was.
But how come, like, after the first one, they're like, alright, this guy won through tick eating. Why did they just say, alright, we're really good at making fog kill you now? Like, why did they just up the fog? Why didn't they add a rule that, like...
They have been changing the fog, because if you remember, the fog killed people way too fast the first season.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, they... Instead of them adding rules that are, like, concrete, they're changing how the game works. And when you do that, there's always going to be a way to exploit it. Like, if they don't say right now... okay, you have to be here, or we're teleporting you here at this point, Like,
because you'll always have people
That's
arguing.
all-
You'll always have people you see it all the time on Reddit, people being like, I don't deserve to be banned. You'll have tons of people, not tons, but we'll have probably a person, why can I do this? Well, we said you have to participate in the fight. Yeah, well, you know what I mean? I tried, and next thing, whatever the next bug is, but by just literally saying, they have, like, it's hard to put down rules, you have people arguing it, so they have to prevent the rules, from that action to ever being taken. The problem is RuneScape is it's huge, and there's so much content to it that you're gonna miss some things sometimes, because I forget about things all the time. And I play the game, it's their game, but like, it's an old game. We have content that's, fucking 15 years old.
Yeah, exactly. They should learn. They should know by now.
But it's easy to miss to forget something as simple as that. They have to focus on every mini game. They have to focus on, you know what I mean? Every quest,
But if it comes down, but it's like, it's not like changing how Last Man Standing works is like, oh, well, this person just got scanned at $10,000. I mean, I guess that's a bad thing because people were cheating and getting gold, but you know what I mean? Like, they're, like, if they're focusing on Deadman mode or they have people dedicated to it, like, why don't they just add better rules? Like, they could easily say, you must participate in PvP or in the final area. You must be at the final area. And if it's like, well, what if I got lost? Like, well, that's your fault.
I think they're trying to
keep the
game
alive,
open because it's so sandboxy.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's what their goal is when it comes down to the final 3 minutes they want everyone in the same area dying to the fog and who's the last one left. That's all they want. So like they just do too many half measures. They just have to be definitive. They should just teleport everyone in a general area or like that's actually a bad idea because then clans are just fun. But you know what I mean? They have to have like a definitive, like, this is how it's gonna work. If you don't like it, then you don't have to participate, but that's your fault. Instead of being like, oh, well, you outsmarted us. Well, that sucks. We're just gonna disqualify you.
Yeah, I agree. They'll put more work on it. Hopefully for the next season we'll see all the changes on, but
Yeah,
it's pretty controversial. But let's move on from that.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want to take a break? Quick 5-minute break? Let's take a quick 5-minute break. And we're back. So let's go over what's your hot topic this week?
So I was gonna say, like, why don't we just talk about PKing?
Yeah, that's been the topic of the episode almost, just PvP in general. So yeah, PKing's awesome, man. That's a topic I could talk at length, and it's not that I'm super good, obviously. It's just, I don't know. I guess there's kind of history to it. It's changed a lot over the years, hasn't it?
Yeah, like, definitely people have gotten a lot better. People actually, like, know what they're doing now. Well, most people.
Exactly.
I mean, it's fun, but I don't know.
So, do you do much PKing? As it is?
As of right now, I haven't. I'm in the process of making a pure. I've done a little PKing on him. He was a free-to-play pure originally. I actually made him just to, like, learn how to PK, because I came up with a nice little method, I think, and then, I don't know, just as it came on, I decided to just try, like, a little weird build. I wanted to make a barrel chest anchor pure, which is, like, not that good, but you pretty much do the Great Train Robbery, or whatever it's called, and you get this anchor.
So let's go over the pures afterwards, because that's a topic as well.
I'll talk about that more after,
What do you want to start with? We can go over the history, the spots that are popular now.
I don't know. Let's just talk about just PKing in general, certain spots and whatnot, and aspects of it. Because I don't.
So, it has changed a lot. For the most part, there's Edgeville PKing, which is similar to dueling. It's a 1v1. You're trying to KO the person. They usually run away by the time. But it's basically a 1v1 duel, and if you kill them, you get their items. It's pretty fun, but there's other types of PKing as well that's consist in the deep wilderness, or at least deeper wilderness. And there's types of PKers too. There's people that are hunting, PVMers or skillers, because you got the chins, and then there's the green dragons. People are hunting to kill some of them. Then you have people who are PKing other PKers who are PKing in that area.
Then you have the scum that kill people doing rune crafting. You're going to
you know what? That's okay. I think that's
no. You're allowed to do that. You're going in the wilderness. Be prepared to die. Like that's how
I've died a few times from them, and it sucks. But at the same time, like the risks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's there. At the same time, the chance of them actually getting a kill on you isn't really that high. I have avoided tons of potential kills. I guess.
Yeah,
I avoided tons, and I've only died maybe twice. Dodged maybe 10.
Yeah.
So let's go with Edgeville PKing. We want to start with that.
Yeah. That's like the fundamental. That's like the foundation of like PKing right there.
So, do you want to go over Pures at the end, and we'll just kind of go over the
sure. Doesn't really matter.
Trinity, I guess. Although you won't see too much magic at higher levels. So when you get up to the higher levels, basically you're gonna have trouble with Pures, and if you're not a Pure, you're not gonna kill them. Let's just say that the chances are you won't kill them. But you need to be about probably level 100, wouldn't you say, before you start getting out of that bracket?
Yeah, if you're PKing like as a main account, I would even say like 110 plus. If you want like this is fair, this guy's probably a main too. Because you are at a disadvantage in general if you're fighting a Pure, which is just an account that is focused on PKing, so they're kind of min-maxing all their stats to do as much damage and be as low of a level as possible. So
yeah, exactly. Well, I'm level 102 right now, and I was PKing, and I was able to. I got some kills, and I was able to stand my own. You are dealing with some, pretty strong accounts. As level 102, you're constantly bumping into 70 defense, 99 mage, 99 strength, 99 range. Yeah. And they're able to pop off some high hits. But at the same time, you are too, and you can KO them. And a lot of the time, they're wearing Void, and you're able to just kind of
rip right through them.
Exactly, yeah. And there's a few times you whip out that DDS, and you're able to hit pretty nice combos.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're going to see for most of the part at higher levels, it's going to be between. Let's keep tri-birding out of this because that's using all three types of styles, and that's a bit more complicated. I suck at that. I would not be able to.
Tri-birding's really hard. There is actually like a dedicated area. It's kind of near the castle, I believe. It's like 18-ish wilderness. There actually are like max people that tri-brid, which is using like melee, range, and mage, and that's like you go there to fight other tri-birders. And
so from what I've seen, I see a lot of them at the PKing Worlds, just at Edgeville, the PvP Worlds itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the most part, you're going to be seeing Rangers and Meleers, and Vengeance is pretty common at higher levels too. So that's, I guess, the magic part. Vengeance, when they hit you, every 30 seconds, it's a spell you have to cast, and you can only cast it once every 30 seconds. Sorry. It'll hit them back 25. I believe it's 25% of the damage they hit you for. So it's awesome when you're lucky, and let's say you're facing a guy in full D'Aarox and he hits you for 45. Next thing you know, you're hitting them back. What is that? Like 12, maybe? It helps, especially when you're pulling out another combo and you're hoping for a hit that'll help you secure the kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll see. So yeah, it'll just the reason you'll see just Meleers and Rangers is because, they do consistent hits, and they also have a way of doing one large hit or a combo to kill you, because it's not like the dueling arena, because if you get low health and you run out of food, you're going to teleport. You're not just going to let them kill you. Unless you agree upon that, but
yeah,
it's not going to happen. So yeah, that's basically what you're going to see in Edgeville when it comes to like higher levels and stuff.
Yeah, people generally range and melee, and then they'll use magic for like utility. It'll be like for the freeze of like Ice Barrage, and it does good damage, but generally they use it for the freeze or the tele block or the vengeance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there's Edgeville, and then what a lot of people do, or some people do, is Deep World PKing, which you can go in groups if you want, but a lot of people do like to go and like just on their own. And I think Ancient's magic is like way more powerful once you get past like 20 wilderness. And you'll see like a lot of them like kind of go for the PVMers. You're not going to be looking for other PKers. I mean, if you find them, I guess they'll probably go for them. But generally, like from my experiences, they're They camp outside of King Black Dragon. They camp at like Callisto. They go to like the Green Dragons. They're just trying to kill PBMers and just kind of freeze them and just kind of cheese them out, spec them out or something.
Yeah, and the reason being is because you're not going to see other PKers out there, so there's no point in looking for them unless it's going to be hard because they're all at Edgeville trying to. That's where the PKers fight each other.
And it's also nice, like the thing with Edgeville is like you follow someone, good luck, good luck, let's pot up and then let's put on our prayers and then fight. With like the deeper you go, it's kind of like there you are, like what, you're gonna try and run from me? Like no, you can't teleport out. Like I don't have to good fight you or good luck you. I can just I can catch you by surprise and get the kill maybe if I'm lucky enough.
And that's what I love about the Deep Wilderness, because it's like it's the Wild West out there. It's kill or be killed. You know what I mean? There's a saying back in the day where it was called NHing, which was no honoring. Basically, you would pray melee, you know what I mean? You would just go all out and try to kill them with not dying. You would safe in the Deep Wilderness. People just, you're no honoring, cunt, whatever it was. But, because in Edgeville, you go up, you say good luck, you both pot up and you fight. Deep Wilderness, you just pot and you run, chase someone down, and you try to get the hits off before they pot up. You're not going to wait for them and say, hey man, you want to fight?
And like, it's not like you're attacking someone smite off and you're like, no, I want like to get your only valuable item. Like, what the hell? And then they teleport out. It's like, if they're in 30 Wilderness and you have smite on and they have like protect magic or whatever the hell they have, it's kind of like, well, let's just see who can figure out how to win. Like, that's kind of it. Like, are you going to live or am I going to get the kill on you? And I really do like
and there's
that.
a lot of ways to escape. Securing a kill can be very difficult, and I've struggled. I was at King Black Dragon and I saw a dude come out. I can't remember what he was wearing, but he had stuff. I was gonna get some loot, and I started going ham on him. And I was probably level, maybe 95. I was, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
So I went out there, and I was also really panicked. This is probably one of the first time I PK, so I started like, the fucking Parkinson's kicks back.
Oh yeah.
And, I start messing up a lot just because it's exciting.
Yeah, it's intense.
So anyways, the dude ends up running away. Looks like I'm going to get the kill, but then he starts getting away and you're like, oh fuck. And he ends up going down, I think, into the King Black Dragon lair, and then he went back up instantly, and then he closed the gate on me, and then he kind of had a lead on me, and then he got away though. There was a lot of ways he like stalled. And he would go to an area that wasn't multi-combat, and then he would get attacked by like a low-level bat, and he was able to like maneuver through that, and I'm not able to magic burst him, ice burst him. So, like, securing the kill itself, there's so many ways to get away, and knowing your getaways is very important, because they're everywhere, you just gotta know about them. Sometimes you wouldn't even, it's right in front of you, you wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely scary. Like, I remember doing KBD with my buddy. We come out of like the little teleporter thing in the Wilderness, and there's like a 120, I guess. I don't know, a really high like combat guy, and I just start getting like ice barrage and stuff, and I'm like, oh shit. And my one friend, he was like a lot higher level than me, and he's like 110. He's a lot closer to him, and I'm getting attacked. I'm like, dude, like I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Like he's kind of just standing there, like he doesn't know what to do. I don't know what to do because like we're just here to kill a boss, not like fight people that are way above us. And so he gets like a freeze on me. I'm like, all right, I'm like stuck for whatever 20 or whatever seconds. And I'm like, dude, okay, I'm unfrozen in like 5 seconds. Can you just like PJ him, just tag him, we'll run, close the gate, and then we'll go teleport? And he's like, yeah. And like as I start to move, he just like, and he like gets ready to ice barrage me again. My buddy just tags him with his crossbow, and we both just like run away, and we both ended up escaping. Like I got so close to dying, and it was really intense. Like it's definitely like, I probably would have like a different opinion on it if I actually died, but it was like really fun because like even though I'm sitting there just eating, praying magic, and like slowly dying, it's still like, well, like is this it? Like can he get me at the right time? Is he gonna get attacked? No, I'm gonna have to PJ for him. But then I'm scald too, and if he gets a kill on one of us, then like that sucks. There goes like a couple 100K in bolts and all of our stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's definitely fun, and it like there's a reason why the Wilderness goes so deep. Like people gotta know there's a risk and actually like take it to go kill people or whatever it is.
Yep. And what I think is really cool is you got to remember the Wilderness came out like I can't remember the year, a long time ago though. Let's just 15 years. Let's just say around then, because it's in the 15-year anniversary. We'll just go with that. For like an online game, that's pretty rare. Like when you think of other MMOs, can you think of really any that have a PvP like RuneScape? Not really. Most of them, you die and you're not going to lose your stuff.
Yeah, a lot of sandboxes have it where you die, you lose your stuff, but not exactly how RuneScape works. The RuneScape is like really unique in terms of like sculling and all that stuff. Just like how like the combat brackets work and all that jazz.
Yeah, it has its system, and you see like obviously the reason you don't see it in mini games because people don't really want to lose their items, but what's cool about RuneScape is that there are items people don't mind parting with. And then, you start going like, well, fuck, maybe if I just use this weapon, it's a little bit better, a little bit more expensive. It'll give me that edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's awesome. And it's changed a lot over it. So as you were saying before, you don't see really, or I think I said it, but there's not really many PKers out there, so you don't have PKers hunting PKers.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like not as popular because it's just way easier to just let's stand in Edgeville. I'm going to teleport if I think I'm going to die.
Exactly. So the PKers, like we said, are in Edgeville. And it wasn't always like that, though. There was back. Let's go 2007 because that's when they first removed it. Let's say that's when it was hottest. There were so many different like areas. So, yeah, you had Edgeville, which was, 1v1s. But you also had Varrock, which is if you just went a little bit east of Edgeville. It's similar, low-level combat, obviously, but it's multi. So you had a lot of pures and low levels there. But it was little teams fighting little teams. And, like, I had a pure with two other friends, and we had, the three of us would go out there, and it was just like, sometimes you'd have a little scrap, 2 versus 3 or 3 versus 3. It was cool. That place is completely barren now. You won't see hardly anybody there, which is kind of sad. And if you just go a little bit northwest of Edgeville, you come to this, I think it's south of the Green Dragons. You come to, the Black Knight's Castle. Actually, it's right outside of Green Dragons, if I'm not mistaken. So, right by the Black Knight's Fortress, you'd have, that place, it's in like a middle zone between multi and non-multi combat. So that was an area where a lot of pures hung out, and it was kind of like a 1v1 for pures, but at the same time, you'd always have like people who would try to scheme you into going into multi where they'd have the team. And honestly, if you just walked into multi, every pure would try to pile you, and just whoever got the loot kind of deal.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of some more, but I know my favorite spot, which I was so sad when I came on to old school RuneScape and realized nobody's PKing there, is the Mage Bank, which is like as deep as you can go in the Wilderness. If you've got 60 magic, you might have gone there to get your God Staff and God spells and stuff like that. But that was like the high level PKing spot because I guess it just was. So people just constantly went there to fight. It ranged from level 90s to 126s. And it wasn't multi. So you'd have little teams there, but it'd be all about PJing and stuff. So that's how the little guys, like the level 90s stuff, could kind of stand a chance. They team up with these, maybe 100s, 110s. And then the way you'd face off against the 126 is just PJing. And really one of the only escapes they had there was, well, the main escape was teleporting into the Mage Bank, which wasn't Wilderness at all. So all you had to do was teleblock him, and that'd prevent that from happening. So, you had to think between using Ancients and teleblock, because Ancients, you might be able to just prevent him from even getting to the lever. And to get into the Mage Bank teleport area, it's a little building. There was some webs you had to cut through. And if you haven't cut through webs before, you need a knife, or I believe it's a sword as well.
Yeah, a weapon that can slash.
And the webs will kind of web back up after some time. So you kind of could play with that to use as an escape or to trap people. You could there's 2 of them, so you could trap them into a little area, and good way to escape as well is if you try to time it. And if you didn't have a knife, you were fucked. So yeah, I was really sad when that area I realized wasn't popular at all. That was something I really enjoyed and I was looking forward to getting better at to do, because in 2007 is when they took out the wilderness, and that's really when I started. I think I was 110, and my account was getting pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
Did you ever PK back in the day?
Yeah, just like, I was a little noob. Like, I don't know. I have like a lot of fond memories. Like, I remember. Oh shit! Like 2004, maybe 2003. No, I think it was like 2004 or 5. Me and I had like 5 friends from school. We all played RuneScape and stuff, and I remember one day we were like hanging out, like I don't know, like just doing whatever we were doing at recess, and someone was like, "Man, we should all like go PK together at Varrock like multi." I went there last night, and it was so cool. And we're like, "Oh yeah, like that would be sweet." And all my friends could play every day, and at the time, like, we didn't have a computer, so I just couldn't play that much. But pretty much what we ended up like deciding on was we'd all get 40 attack, so we could all get Rune 2-handers, and then we'd all like make money, and we'll all just try and help each other out, get Rune 2-handers ASAP, and then someone would go fish all the lobsters for us, and it was like the newbiest thing. But we pretty much all had like our Mithril and Adamant and like our Rune 2-handers and stuff. And we would like sit in like I guess where the ditch is now. At the time there wasn't a ditch, but we would sit there like and just kind of wait. And we'd see a guy that was around our level, because we were all like pretty much the same level, and we'd all just rush him with Rune 2-handers and try and kill him. And oh my god, was it ever fun. And we would get like 1 kill every now and again, because we pretty much all hit him once and then they'd run away. And then we all ended up dying because a bunch of people came out and were like entangling us and like actually knew what they were doing, and we're like, oh, we can kill them, and we ended up dying, losing all of our Rune 2-handers and stuff, and we would try like Deep Wilderness, and we just die, but oh, it was so much fun. I remember one time in like 2003 or 4, like I was super newbie, like I had like 20 attack, like 15 strength, and like 10 defense, and I remember it was like the summer, and I was at my grandparents, and I had my friend over, and I'm like, hey man, do you want to watch me go PKing? He's like, yeah. He loved watching me play games. And I remember buying full black, having like a Mithril longsword, and having like sardines. And I was trying to like fight people at Edgeville. And then I started like fighting some dude, and like, yeah, just like random dude just like good fighted me. And we were just like fighting. And I would have died. He was an actual pure. I'm like eating through my sardines, but I'm kind of like, well, maybe if I can hit 3 4s on him in a row, like I can figure out a way to kill him. And my grandma came in, and she was like, Deegan, go out and go swim. You've been inside all day. And I was like, well, like, Grandma, I'm playing RuneScape. And then she like ended up getting mad at me because I guess I just didn't hop off the computer. And she turned off the monitor. And I was like, no! Like, I remember screaming, like, no, Grandma, what are you doing? Turn on my monitor, and I'm fucking in Lumbridge. And I was just like, I was so angry, and I just like, ugh. Just went outside, went swimming. I was like pissed all day about that. Like I was gonna kill him. Like definitely wouldn't have. I was just like such a little noob.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I remember my first memory of the wilderness. Me and this guy went. I don't remember why we were in there, but we were, and apparently we bumped into somebody, and he had I don't remember what weapon he had, but he had the anti-fire shield.
Yeah,
and that was the first time we ever saw that shield. So we killed him, and I think my buddy got the shield.
He did. I remember that.
Yeah, he got the shield, and I remember I was like flipping out because I thought it was a Dragon Square shield, and so did he. We thought we got some like end game item that was going to be end all be, and we're like level 20, maybe 30. We're such low levels, and we were freaking out, and I was like, well, how are we going to split this? And I was like, can I have it? And he was like, well, man, I got the kill. I was like, well, like, what the fuck? How are we supposed to share a shield? Like, this is stupid. We can't sell it. We didn't, I didn't know how to sell it. I was, whatever. And then I remember he got the mysterious old man, and he got I think he got like 800 gold, and that was the most gold I saw ever. And I remember I got so upset, but I didn't show anything. And he was like, well, hey man, do you want to maybe go, woodcut something? No, man, I think I might just go home.
Fuck this shit.
He's like, are you sure? I'll give you some money. No, I don't want any money, man. I don't want any money. I'm just, I'm kind of tired. This game's kind of stupid anyway. This game kind of sucks. I don't even like it.
Do you remember when me, you, and him decided to go deep wilderness PKing for the first time?
And I was thinking of that.
I went and fished swordfish for us, and I had to cook it all.
So
and
it was me, Deegan, and a friend of ours, and we all decided to do one skill each. I think I did wood cutting. Yeah, I probably did wood cutting. Our friend did fishing.
From what I remember,
no,
you were the highest combat or something. You were like the best one of us.
Probably.
And I remember like me being the shittiest. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do fishing because I'm the best fisherman here. And our buddy had really high smithing. He was like level 30 that could like make almost full myth. And this is free to play.
That's all he did was mine.
It is free to play.
So,
and
yeah, his job was to make all the best gear. He couldn't make full myth because I remember some of the out of his head. He made the gear. Deegan got the food. I don't remember what I did, but I remember I found someone else who wanted to join. So we had 4 of us. We're all like level 20s. I think we called ourselves a clan. Yeah. We made a clan right then and there, and it died right then and there too. But so I remember we had, I believe it was mithril medium helmet, steel chain body, or steel.
I think
plate.
we had a mithril chain body. I think you could make them.
Mithril. Yeah, we weren't scrubs. Yeah, mithril chain definitely. Our weapon was like a short sword or a dagger or something shitty.
I remember him being like, "What weapons do you guys want?" And you're like, "I want a scimitar." I'm like, "I want a battle axe." And he's like, "Okay, coming right up." I'm like, "Let me make you guys this epic gear."
And we'll give you the mace, and I'll take the warhammer, and we're all good to go. Yeah, that sounds about right. So then we go, we go into the wilderness. I remember just like traveling through like these like hill giants, be like, these guys are pretty tough. We're venturing pretty far. And I remember just going up, and the next thing you know, we're all dead. And it was like, it ended within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, we're just like, but we spent probably
We spent like the whole day pretty much getting the supplies, getting ready. And then we just pretty much ran. We just hit our runs. We all like ran deep wilderness. And I think people ran into us and just like, they're like 30 levels. They have magic and they just like destroy us. And we had no idea what we're doing. Just like, oh, well, that was fun. All right, let's call it a day.
So go back to Smith and some mithril. We're gonna need some. Get it ready by tomorrow. So yeah, and the problem is the wilderness. Like before old school RuneScape, the wilderness was a lot different. It was because nobody was as skilled as they are today. We're all noobs. Like there were tons of famous PKers. Do you remember any of the famous PKers?
I remember like Kids Range.
Yeah.
Kids Range.
I can't.
Okay, this is kind of off topic, but not really. Do you remember you're on a random RuneScape forum and someone linked a PK video or something and you downloaded it and it was to like, that was a Guns N' Roses.
Website was called RuneScape Community. I remember that video. So I can't find this video out there. If you can find this video and send it to us, that would be awesome.
So much nostalgia.
So it was this guy. You can't do this now because people aren't this stupid. But he was a really low level with a pretty high magic, and he had 83 magic. It wasn't high enough. He'd go to the Green Dragons, and he'd be wearing like really newbie armor. So we'd have like an adamant trimmed, and this is back when trimmed was actually worth something.
Like full
rune gold. I believe was 1.5.
Yeah.
1 mil, stuff like that. So he'd be wearing that with like maybe a shield that was trimmed. He just had bits of random armor, and then he'd have like a mystic bottom. And he would kind of walk around the Green Dragons, and one of the Green Dragons would go kill one of the people slaying the Green Dragons would say like, "Fuck, I could take this guy on. This guy's like 10 levels lower."
And he's got trimmed. Why not?
Yeah, and he's got trimmed. This is going to be some, and the guy was skulled usually, I think. So the guy would run up and skull on him. He would switch into full Mystic, telly block him, and then do Saradomin strikes.
Yeah,
but like
he would like charge. He would like Mind Brew charge or something like that.
Yeah, entangled. Today, that's nothing impressive. It's actually just far casting. It's pretty easy to do. It's, you know what I mean? But like back then, that I remember that video being pretty popular.
I remember that being
a lot of people knew about.
I remember being like, man, that's what first got me into like PKing and stuff. Like I was like, I watched that video like every morning on like a Saturday or something.
just like get up, oh, I'm gonna play some RuneScape, and I watched that video like a million times, just like him pretty much spamming Sarah Strike on people and like killing guys 20 levels above him just because like everyone's so bad. Like back then, the most mechanical the game was switching to your weapon and using all of your special. People would just DDS, hit special, and then they use all 4 specials right off the bat, and then they just hit you with a random weapon. And like that was like super common.
Exactly.
I remember watching like kids range and stuff and being amazed at like, oh my god, they're using their like short bows and then they're swapping to a DDS once they get to half health like that. And even then they just 4-spec them. Or like when I first went free to play PKing, I was like fighting people and I would just kind of like, I made like a random like strength pure and I would just hit them with a scimitar and like until I would kill them. And then I remember watching one dude swap to like a 2-hander and like finish a guy off and like people be like, holy shit, that's how do you do that? That's so smart. And like no one like people were like, including myself, amazed that like you could hit him with a scimitar, swap to a 2-hander and like hit him really quickly and kill him. And like, yeah, people were just so bad and that's what made it so fun though.
Yeah, we're all young. Now you won't see any noobs going in there because, well, not really a noob, but lower levels won't go in there because they're just like, they know what's out there. But it was cool before when it was all brand new and you're like, oh, what's going out here? And oh shit, we're dead. Or it was also because half the time you bumped into somebody else who had no fucking business being there. And it just made it awesome. And that's what a lot of the fun is. And you can tell RuneScape has been trying to bring that, I mean, Jack has been trying to bring that to old school RuneScape by adding, the bosses and stuff like that, which those are all really cool, but I think all it really takes is just people getting out there. When you start bumping into more PKers, you'll just.
I think a lot of it is that like this game is so old that people like won't explore now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the new players, like shit. When we took a little break, I'm on Reddit, and some guy was like, "Man, how do you have over 300K?" And everyone's like, "What the fuck? How do you not have like 300?" And everyone's kind of like, "Oh, I've been playing this game for 15 years. You're shit." And all these new players are kind of like, "Well, this game fucking sucks." You know what I mean? Everyone's assholes. I have nothing. Everyone has so much. I'm gonna go beg, or I'm just gonna quit. Like, they need a way to like incentivize new players to actually like stick around and learn and have fun. I think it's like a big thing.
And again, Deadman Moan's a great way of doing that. But there are new players starting, and hey, let us know if you're someone who's played, like you're fresh. That'd be great to hear. Tell us how. I'm always curious how someone got on to old school RuneScape when they're brand new. So yeah, I've met some people and they're, fresh, and half the time it's either they saw a YouTube video or they played RuneScape 3. And I'm always just like, wow. And, when they're fairly high level, I'm always just like, that's awesome. That's great to see.
Yeah.
I'm really happy
for
that.
Before we like go into like talking about like the different types of pures and whatnot, like I was just thinking, because this is like what I did and I think it really helped me and I can explain it like decently easily. If you want to like get into PKing and like learn it, like a little while ago, I knew about, the basics of it, but I actually wanted to like, learn it and actually get better because there is like some sort of skill to it. It's actually like pretty easy. You can be ready to do it, to like start learning PKing on a fresh account in like 2 hours maybe. I think it was like an hour and 40 minutes my first time making like a throwaway account. But pretty much what I do is I would get, I believe it's 30 range. Yeah, I would get 30 range for whatever bow. I guess it's a Willow short bow. I would get 20 attack for the Mithril 2-hander and then 25 strength. And I would just make a free-to-play account. You get 20 attack by doing Vampire Slayer, so you would just level up range doing whatever, range that guy down, and then you get your strength up. And then, you're pretty much ready to start PKing. Just go buy your items and whatnot. Like, everything's so cheap, like, just for all the supplies you need. And since you have 20 attack, 25 strength with the Mithril 2-hander. I believe the highest you can hit is like an 8, I think, or maybe a 7. Like an 8 if you use a strength potion and a strength amulet, which you should definitely use. And then with like the 30 range, you can hit like a 5, 6, or 7. I don't know, somewhere in between them. But anyways, you're gonna be like around like really low level 20s, and like everyone else will be too that you're fighting. There are like a good amount, but the reason why it's really good, because since like all you can really eat is like lobsters, like you can eat swordfish, but you're wasting a lot of money. Like you pretty much just stick to, but it doesn't matter. Just use one of those foods. And like the only way you can really get a kill is if you properly do the trick where you're ranging someone and then you you see your experience drop, you're like, oh, like these guys are like, this guy's half health or whatever, and I see like got like a 40, plus 40 experience, I'm gonna like swap to my two-hander and like hit him as the arrow hits him, and then just hope that you hit high, and if you stack it correctly and you actually like PK and do like a good job of like, going for the kill, you'll actually get the kill. And like that's honestly what I did with like my pure now, who I'm turning into, or I'm still like, I guess, leveling up. That's like, I pretty much did that for like a really long time. And that's just, it's so much fun. You die, you lose like nothing. You lose like 3K. I mean, you don't get that much money, but like really you're doing it to learn and have fun. And so there's not that much risk. And yeah, plus you get better. And like as you go on, like, because you do level up pretty quickly from PKing, like a lot faster than you expect. And what I found out is like a really nice little formula for, at least for like free to play PKing, is like always have your strength. Like obviously this is like going on like a lot later. So pretty much like try and have your strength, whatever your attack is, plus like 20. So that would mean you would have like 20 attack and then 40 strength, and then you'd go for like 40 or 45 range. And like what that lets you do is you would hit the same, because the other people you're going to be fighting are going to have 30 attack and 30 strength. So you're like going to be using, and they'll have the same range, but you'll be using like a mithril two-hander. They'll use an adamant. So you're risking a lot less, but you'll have the exact same max hit. You're going to be like less accurate, but you still have like the same max hit. And if you're as lucky as I was, like I would bump into people with rune scimitars and rune two-handers and whatnot. And I was still like, I ended up killing like 2 or 3 of them with like those stats. Like they're pretty bad. And it's like, oh cool, that's 60K I made. Like that's pretty decent. And it's also like a lot of fun, and yeah, you're risking a lot less than like, what your opponent is. So you can kind of like just shrug it off if you die. And I don't know, it's really fun. You just gotta keep doing that, obviously up to like 40 attack. And then you would just keep getting up your strength.
Yeah, it really comes... I think the best way is just
gotta get out there and do it.
Exactly. That's what I did, is I bought like a set of 10 PKing, sets. And I was like, you know what? I'm prepared to lose all these. I'm totally okay if I lose every single one of them and don't get a kill. I probably wouldn't be, actually. But
it just kind of...
that's the mindset.
It kind of just depends on how much money you have to like spare. Like that's the thing. At the time, I just didn't want to waste any money learning to PK, so I just made that account.
And the best way to also do it is find a group of friends as well. Go out, they'll teach you, and do Deep Wilderness PKing, because that one is, the more numbers you have, you'll probably, better chance for the most part. And that's a good way to learn as well, because, let's say if you get jumped, you got some friends to kind of back you up.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you don't have that much money, though, like, you can still have a lot of fun. Like, I mean, sure, it takes you like an hour or 2 hours to like make the account, but like, that's it. And then you have a pure you can just dick around on, or it doesn't really matter. If you want to do it on your main, like, go for it. I just did it like that because I just kind of found it was more fun for me to learn like that. Because I also like leveled up with a buddy. We kind of just like would just PK in the same area together, and I don't know, it's good fun.
We're actually going to hold the peers part of this for another week, just because there's so much to it. We don't want to... It's too hard to kind of generalize this. We're just going to focus on another week so we can go more in depth on it and go over every aspect on how to make peers and all the different brackets and whatnot. But, yeah, that's kind of a generalization and little banter and rambling of the wilderness. If you guys ever want more in depth in a certain aspect of it, I'm sure we'll probably pick a topic every now and then. But yeah, let us know, because there's so much you could talk about. Money making methods and ways to actually PK, like where to look and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a few out there. But yeah, let's go right into the Iron Man.
All right. I can start. My Iron Man this week wasn't that interesting at all.
Yeah, let's start with the challenge. The challenge was whoever can get the most combat levels, and the restriction being we can't spend any gold on anything. So I pretty much, what my plan was originally was to go and do Dragon Slayer. just go and get that done just for the defense, and I get like a bunch of levels out of it. But
for how many levels I'd get. I forget how many I was actually going to get, but it wasn't that much in the end. I mean, it's nice, for future, and there just wasn't like enough time to really get it done, especially as an Iron Man. But so I decided to go and I wanted to go kill some black demons. And that's kind of why I was going to start, Dragon Slayer, so I can get the anti-fire shield, and then go to the Taverley dungeon, get the key, and, go and fight them over there. But that'd just take, like, way too much time, and I can't, I can't buy food or anything, so it wouldn't really even, I could just die, and then that's it, I'm kind of screwed. So I went and checked out, there's, in the Edgefield dungeon, there's, like, a part in the wilderness you can go, and if you go up north to, like, 7-ish or 5 or 7 wilderness, there's like a couple black demons you can sit there and like safe spot. So I was gonna go and bring my magic and all that stuff and safe spot them, and maybe get some rune chests or chains and helmets, and if I'm lucky, a dragon medium helmet. But yeah, so I went there with like nothing. I just went there completely new just to see where the safe spots would be, because I'd never actually like safe spotted there before, and just to just figure out if I can get there, how much damage would I probably take, and is it worth it. I went there, and there was this guy, because I'm level 39 at the time, this random dude who's level 40, he's in like full adamant with an adamant longsword, just starts chasing me and attacking me, and he just starts like shit talking me the whole time. I actually almost got him killed because I run him into the demons, but eventually I die. I don't lose anything. It's not a big deal. He calls me a nerd, and so I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna shrug it off, and maybe I'm just gonna kill Chaos Druids or something, because that I can just escape. And I also realized I didn't have any law runes, so I had no emergency teleports, and Chaos Druids dropped them. So as I'm running back, for some reason I actually added this dude, because I was like gonna send him a message and just be like, yo man, like what's that for? Like I had nothing and I'm an Iron Man, like what the? But anyways, he had his thing on he has private off, but I had him added, and like I'm running back. And for some reason, he called me a nerd, and that, like, resonated with me as I got there again. And I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna just keep trying to kill me over and over again. I'm gonna world hop, and he's gonna keep trying to find me. You know what? Fuck it. And I actually log onto my pure. I'm like, I'm gonna kill this little bitch. Fuck him. And because my pure is, like, the same level. He's, like, 42 or something. He's, like, not that good, because, I'm in, like, an awkward transition to making, like, a certain pure, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna go kill him. I go gear up. I can hit like 13s or something with my bow. So I'm like, maybe I'll get a good spec. And I run there, and I see him there. He's still skull. He's just like killing thugs. I don't know like what the hell he's doing. And I start killing Chaos Druids. And I'm like, acting like such a big noob. I'm like, hey man, what does that skull do? You know what I mean? Like trying to see like if I can get him to fight me, but it was pretty obvious I was a pure. Like I had like my accumulators on and shit. Anyway, so I'm killing Chaos Druids on my pure, trying to bait him over. And I see like another level 40 that is like not a pure. So I attack him just to get skulled, but he actually fights me back. And I'm like, alright, well, I guess I'll get free Addy legs. And I'm sitting there attacking, he's eating. Actually, some people like logged on that were like looking at PK, and were like, god damn, these guys suck. Cause like all I can do is hit with my bow. I end up killing him though. He doesn't run away. Kind of felt bad, but I don't even know what his name was, so I can't give his stuff back. And loot that, and then I try to like get him to fight me, and he wouldn't. So I log back on my Iron Man, like, alright, this guy was just being a dick, I guess. I gear up, get like my scimitar and stuff, and kill a bunch of Chaos Druids. He tries killing me, I run away, he like shit talks me the whole time. Log back onto my pure, I'm like, alright, I'm fucking killing this guy. And then I started attacking him and trying to kill him, and he just kept running away and shit talking. And I'm like, alright, I'm wasting so much time. And, I just, eventually just continued killing Chaos Druids and just making sure he couldn't, like, PJ them or making sure, like, he couldn't PJ them off me or anything. And, just kind of had to sit it out and wait out and kill Chaos Druids. I world hopped. He ended up finding me and trying to kill me again. It was super annoying. And I bumped into 2 pures, actually, who kind of hung out for a little while. And, he ended up, like, leaving and not coming back. And, so I just kind of killed Chaos Druids the whole time. Got, like, a lot of herbs and got a lot of runes and whatnot.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, what about you?
Might as well have not done anything, but okay, I'll go over it. So, it was a bit of a shorter week just because we've been so busy. I've been trying to do the YouTube videos. I'll talk a little bit more about that after.
But I thought it would be a good idea. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. I think I had started it. I don't remember. I'll have to go back and look at the videos, but I decided I was gonna do Tree Gnome Village. I was like, you know what? That'll give you some nice attack. You know, it's kind of a curveball. He's not gonna be expecting that. I'm gonna pull the W out, and started doing it. I guess everything was all right. A lot of walking around. Get to the end part where you got to kill. Yeah, kill the
Khazard guy? Or the
Khazard
commander
leader,
dude?
yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think if anything else happened in between there. I don't, because I'm trying to think, and all I remember is this. So I decided, you have to kill him. He's level 112. I'm level, low level. I'm not going to say it right now. I'll say it after. My best weapon is a freaking, black hatchet or black axe. Like,
damn.
It's shit. And at that level, the only way you're going to kill him is by you sidestep it so he gets stuck, and then you step out, hit him, walk back in, wait for his health bar to disappear, do that again. So you got to wait 5 seconds in between each attack. So you're constantly hitting zeros, and it's taking a long time. I'm there for about half an hour, and every now and then I'd kind of mess up with the clicking, and he'd hit me once or twice, and he'd hit me for like an 8, and basically ends up killing me the first time. I'm pretty fucking pissed. So I decide I need some food. I don't have any more food, and I start fishing at Draenor, get some shrimp. That takes forever. A lot longer than I expected, and I would have done it if I knew it took this long. Walk all the way back. No, actually, I started walking. I realized you can just teleport with the mini games to Castle Wars, which I don't know how I feel about that.
Makes it easy, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I walk to the battle warlord dude. Same thing. It's going a little bit better. Getting about half health. This little fucking slut. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I don't really know anything about them. But it comes out of nowhere and fucking one hits it. And, this pissed me off the most. It gave me a little capital D. You know what I'm talking about?
That smiley face.
A fucking smiley face. I was so mad. And just runs off. And I was like, no, wait. They killed it. They killed it. And I was I was livid. I was fucking livid. So I world hopped. I burned through like half my food too, because every now and then I'll mess up and it'll hit me for a 9, which is basically all my health. Mm-hmm. So I world hop and I have like 3 shrimp left and I'm going, and then I fucking misclicked. No, I clicked a soldier walked underneath and I clicked on him instead of where I wanted to walk, and I attacked him, and the dude... No, that's a lie. I just misstepped and the Khazard, the battle warlord dude, killed me. And kind of rage quit. That really pissed me off.
So
took me like half an hour to fish that full load of shrimp.
So that was your Iron Man challenge?
I didn't... All my experience came from killing the goddamn warlord dude.
Ouch.
I got some levels in between, I think, but like I have to go back and watch the footage because I might be missing some stuff, but I have like 3 hours of footage and didn't even finish the quest.
Damn.
There's probably a lot. Yeah, so
all right, that being said though, what was your combat level and what is it now?
34. I think it's 35. There's a good possibility it's 34. What's yours?
I was 39 and now I'm 45.
It's not bad. I'm 34.1, so yeah.
Damn.
That was a little disappointing. But anyways, all right, so you win this time.
Yeah, it's the way she goes sometimes.
The thing is, when you've dedicated some time into doing kind of let's just say it's a small task, doing that quest. Because the small task was just killing that. All I had to do was kill that one dude. Spent about an hour and then I died. At what point do you, like... Because it became personal. Man. And if I would have spent 10 hours trying to kill that thing. I wouldn't have stopped till I killed it. I probably...
Well, that's what the sunken cost fallacy is. It's like, the more money or time you put into something, you kind of like, well, I can't stop now. I've already done all this effort or put all this money into it. I got to keep going until it's done. And then, usually it just ends up hurting you even more.
Yep. So we'll see next week. We'll know if I get it finished or not, because it's getting done.
Yeah.
Or is it? Dun dun dun. So right now on the scoreboards, we're both at 200K in the negative. So yeah, we both lost twice.
Yeah.
So the pot's getting it's thickening up a bit, I guess. We still haven't decided when we're gonna do a little drop party. I don't know if it should be a milestone or if it could be a 1 mil drop party, because this is the idea that we're thinking. So next week's challenge is going to be, a throwback to our first episode, I guess. It's going to be back into the wilderness, and are we doing total? What do you want to do? We'll do total experience?
Sure. Experience or level, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm down for either.
Let's go experience this time of round. Yeah, so same thing. Back in the wilderness. Only time you can bank is in Edgeville or Mage Bank. And yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You can't you can't do anything outside of the wilderness. So like if you want to eat food and stuff, you got to take out the food and go back to the wilderness. Do you want to open up the Edgeville Taverley? Edgeville Taverley. Fuck, what am I saying? The Edgeville Dungeon?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay, we'll open that up then. Yeah, so we'll be allowed to do that, but no fighting anywhere in between. Anything like that.
Yeah.
Cool. And so we have the idea we're thinking of doing is at every 5th episode, we'll do this challenge kind of again, but we'll change up what the challenge will be, but the restriction will be in the wilderness, just to keep it in theme with the show. But on the 10th episodes, we're thinking of doing like a little duel between me and Deegan, where we'll probably expand on this maybe as each episode comes on, getting closer to number 10. But basically, we'll go out there, gather all the items we get that week from only the wilderness, and then we'll see who wins. And maybe we'll increase the value of the pot.
Yeah, we'll
like
up the ante.
Money, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, let us know what you guys think, and let us know what you guys think about this little segment too. I'm kind of curious since we don't have the videos out right now, but it's something I'm working on. It's going to take a little bit because there's a lot more work involved, and also I just been a little bit busy over here.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're busy too with school, right?
Yeah, I've been swamped.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, cool. So we'll move on from that, and yeah, so give us your thoughts. So yeah, we had a giveaway with we had a Bond giveaway for last week, and thanks for writing in and guessing the song name. And so I guess we'll announce the winner right now. So fuck it, let's insert a little drum roll right here. The winner is Germanicus. So yeah, congratulations, man. We'll get you that Bond. We'll add you in game, and we'll also send you an email, and I guess keep your private chat on or something, or maybe we'll send you our username so you can add us, and we'll see when you're on, and we'll get that to you as soon as possible. So yeah, awesome. Thank you for guessing in. By the way, the answer was Evil Bob's Island. So cool. Thanks again. Yeah, and we'll have more events and activities, maybe giveaways planned in the future. Nothing right now though. I'm not dropping any more money. How about you?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll wait a bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess this is bringing it to a close. But yeah, feel free to write in your emails, any questions, opinions, suggestions. Feedback is always welcome. We'll read your emails on the show as well, and maybe discuss whatever it is you want to talk about. Our email is thewilderness@gmail.com. Oh, thewilderness.podcast@gmail.com. Send that to us at Twitter at thewildernessrs. In our Facebook messages, I guess just search the show and shoot it there. I haven't really done too much, but yeah. And we have a Discord set up, and I would love for some people to join. It could be a place, solo players to meet other players. Maybe do some group activities. Maybe come PKing. If you guys are interested in PKing, maybe we can set something up. We're bossing. Yeah, just let us know if you're interested, and we'll get you a link. Discord is a chat program. You can use voice chat or just text chat. And you can use it. It's web-based, or you can download it. browser based, or you can download it. So yeah, it's pretty simple. We'll get you the link so you can join our server. Deegan, you got anything going on next week?
Well, it's Thanksgiving, so I got that. And I don't know, I got a couple big projects to hand in. That's about it, though. Just, school, get some RS in there, and Thanksgiving.
The huge. Yeah, I hear ya. So, yeah. I didn't say this. I forgot to say this earlier, but actually, let me tell the story real quick. A little outro story. So I was taking I was taking a shit one evening, and I was just sitting there, and I was a little stoned too, so I was a little out of it. And I looked down at the trim at the bottom of my wall, and there was like this yellow. At the time, I thought it was noodles, but it looked like the shell kind of noodles. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So I just looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird. I guess my girlfriend was eating, noodles in here or something." I wasn't really thinking. And then I noticed it was attached to the trim, and I kind of pulled it, and it was actual mushrooms growing out
No.
of the fucking trim. So me and my girlfriend had purchased this house, and it's a really old house, and we just moved in. So it's a lot of things updating, and there's he has done some updating, the old person here, but as you can tell, there's things that kind of you really show its wear and tear.
Yeah.
So that happens. I kind of freak out, and I basically rip off the trim. And luckily, the good thing about working construction, material everywhere. There's a lot of kind of waste you can kind of scrap, sort of.
Yeah.
Anyways, I went to work, grabbed a bunch of materials, and I'm kind of learning a bunch of stuff too. I have a friend that's helping me out, and the next day we just ripped down that whole wall, and we're going to replace the whole wall because it was this shitty looking vinyl-ish wood looking panel, I guess. I don't know. I hadn't seen it before, but it just looked bad. Ripped it down. I'm putting some drywall in on it and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing this week, is doing some home repairs, and there's many more to come. But yeah, that was fucking gross. The trim had it was black mold on it, but it must have been recent, because I don't think I would have sat there and looked at black trim and just thought it was normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. That's what my week's looking like.
Yeah, doing some home improvements.
All right, guys, this was episode 5. Thank you for listening. We'll wrap it up or we'll end it here. So yeah, tune in next week, October 10th, for episode 6. Take it easy.
Have a good one.